It's time for Saturday Hockey Talk with your host, Rick Seligman. That's me. Hey, everybody. I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. And I should have just run. Oh, it doesn't matter now. I usually have an opening, and I just didn't run it. Okay. So, Saturday Hockey Talk, we have a bunch of things to talk about. Whatever you'd like. There's the upcoming training camp for the Habs. There's the rookie tournament that is right now. I saw the first game, except I think I missed the first 10 minutes of the first period. I couldn't watch the second game because my power was out. The transformer blew. Only my building and the building right across the street, but didn't get the power back till quarter to nine this morning. Say the words right. From I think it went out about 3:30. I was here looking at my computer doing stuff, and boom, and then two more after that follow. Anyway, I got power back, thank God, so we could do the live stream. So we got that to talk about. We have any number of things. I've got videos out. You want to talk to me about those? Or, hey, I was on the news last night, and this is at 6 and tonight at 11, I think, as well. We can talk about that if you want to know what's going on there. You can see by the thumbnail. That's the cast. And let's see who's here. I don't think Matt's joining me tonight. It is his usual night off, although he does appear sometimes on Saturday, but I don't think he'll be here tonight. All right, let's see who's here. Jacobs, Habs Talk. Welcome to the channel. I don't think I've seen you before, and I'm not sure if you're here right now, but welcome. He thought it was cool. Maybe he hasn't seen me yet. I don't know. Habs Guru, some Habs Guru hype in the room and some Dono hype in the room for Habs Guru. Thanks for the Dono. I really appreciate that. I know you guys don't see it because it wasn't made here. Stan the Man, welcome in. Ronald, welcome in. Luca, hey. You having guests on tonight? Hope all is well. We can arrange that. Just remind me in about 20 minutes, and I'll go open my email and send you a link. Adam Cormier, how's it going? All right. So whatever you guys want to talk about. I am working on a new short. Now, I know I put out two, and I'll tell you that they were kind of boring. The writing was good for the poetry one, but my performance was bad. But I'm kind of hoping this one is a little different. You won't see me on camera for it, but it's called 5 Reasons the Montreal Canadiens Are the Best. I'm going to give you one of them here as a preview. If you'd like to see that, say yes in the chat. How does it feel being a celebrity? Not a celebrity at all. No, you mean from being on the news? That's Maggie celebrity. Who watches the news anymore? And it was CBC, but they did a good job. I mean, I have no complaint about anything like that. It was actually cool to see them do something like that up front, up close. I mean, I wish it was for a better thing, a topic or whatever, but yeah. All right, so we get a yes and a yes from Stan the Man and Habs Guru for that. I know you guys are going to want to see the teaser. It's not long. It's like the teaser is it's seconds long. The whole video that I'm doing for the shorts, this one is, I think it's going to come out 5 seconds, something like that. And it's taken me already about 4 hours. And I think I'm near the end of the pre-production. I think I've got 2 more of the 5 reasons to finish editing, and that's it. So it's getting there. So it'll be out tomorrow. I'll do that in a second. I want to remind people that if you have not, or if you're thinking of joining the fantasy pool, we've got 2 of them here at Habs. One is a points pool, and one is a head-to-head pool. Spots are open for both, and if you want to join, I have an email. It is in the description. I'll give it to you now. It's talkinghabs@gmx.com. Send me an email there saying that you'd like to join the pool, which one you'd like, or both if you'd like, and I will hook you up for that. So at talkinghabs, no, it's not at talkinghabs@gmx.com, and let me know if you want to be in the pool. And what else do I got going? That's it right now. I mean, season's about to amp up and during the season. I got to get ready. Get used to the grind again. Drake, hey Drake, when is the fantasy thing? Well, didn't you join up? The points pool. Okay, I don't know which one. I think the points pool is on the 2nd of October. That's a Sunday, and then the head-to-head or the whichever one was first. And the second one is October 5th, which is a Wednesday, both at 8:00. We really, 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 is that strong enough? Encourage you to be there live. I'm going to be doing this live, so you'll see me and Matt at least doing the draft, maybe some others. And so we'll see. So if you want to be in that, you let me know in the email. I've had a crazy night, so if I'm a little loopy, it's because I don't know. So with the power out all night, and it's just been weird with the news. Like that came up yesterday with the news. I had a big day planned, and then it was 9:00 in the morning. I found out that they're coming to do an interview, and I was requested not by the news people, but the people kind of. Did I want to be on camera? So I said, sure. Never met a camera I didn't love, but that's not true because I don't like cameras in general. You wouldn't think it by me doing this, but it's kind of true. Yeah. Let's see. Stan Man was watching the rookie games at Emil Heinemann. Really impressed me. I was reading an article briefly. I didn't read anything about how he was impressive. I noticed him, but I didn't find him doing anything special. Maybe the second game more so than the first game, but I didn't see that one. Do you think he has a shot at cracking the lineup? No, what I read today was he won't even be playing for the Rocket this year. I think he's going back to, is he from Finland, I think? Whatever his country is. I think he's going back there this year. So, no, I don't think so. ABL? Is it my computer or yours? I don't know. I don't know. It could be mine. It doesn't. My signal might be low. I don't know why it would be, but I think that is the thing. So maybe I apologize. Hopefully it'll come back to being nice. Anybody else having trouble with the signal? Am I breaking up? Am I up? Yeah, Izzy. Hey, Izzy. All right. Hey, thank you, Izzy. I don't see which sticker it is because they don't show that to me on this. Some Izzy hype in the room. Some Dono hype. Thank you, Izzy. So Izzy and Guru will be I gotta bring out, it's getting close to when I'm gonna make the next draw. I'm gonna be giving away prizes as I've done. For if you donate to the channel, you get in the draw. So that'll be happening first game, which is 12th of October. I'll be doing a draw there for the haven't really done one all summer because not a lot of action in the summer. And so we'll be doing, if you want to get in on the draw, you just have to give me money. That's really what it is. Give me money, I'll put you in the draw. That's it. Can't be any more blunt than that, Rick. I hate to talk about it. I still do, but it's part of life, right? All right. Stan says no issues with me. BL, it could be yours. It could be on your end. BL says, what's everybody think of the goings on in the peg? Oh, I'll mention in case people don't know what that is. I was reading a little bit about that today. Blake Wheeler, the captain of the Winnipeg Jets for the last 6 years, has been stripped of his captaincy, and the Jets have announced that they're going with no captain. They'll be going with 4 assistants, of who they have not named them yet. So Blake Wheeler might not even be an assistant or an alternate this year. So apparently there's issues with his leadership. Or it is that they're making him a scapegoat for them being underperforming over the last couple of seasons, I guess. That's what I think is going on there. BL, you want to talk about it a little more? Let's go. Automatic. Hey, Automatic, how you doing? So say hi. Hope you are doing well. Can't wait for the start of the season. We are about to enter a new exciting era and have so much to look to. I think you want to say to look forward to. And as I say that, I look down, and that's what he wrote. All right. So I think you're right about we're entering a new and exciting era. Especially for you young guys. I obviously got to see some really exciting eras in my lifetime. Um, so it's the first one for Habs fans if you're of a certain age, right? Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. This team looks like it's going to be good, fun to watch, and maybe a championship coming in the next few seasons. Say next up to next, I'd say in the next 5. I think that's they're going to hit a point where that's peak contendership in the next 5. That's my prediction. My new hot take, because I made a hot take before about them winning the cup, but I don't think they're going to make that. And yeah, so I'm adjusting. Hey Joseph, how you doing? So BL, I think you're the only one having a problem with the feed. Because that's what I think. Talk about a culture change with Rick Bonus, but why is Cheveldayoff a GM? Couldn't tell you. He has more lives than Mark Bergevin. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why they're making Blake Wheeler the scapegoat, so that they don't blame it on Cheveldayoff. I guess, I don't know. He was the only GM they have had since they went back to Winnipeg from Atlanta. That's actually true, right? That's true. He's got some lives. He's like a cat. 9 lives of what's his name? Kevin. Is it Kevin Cheveldayoff? Besides the fact that we know he was with the Blackhawks in that worrisome time. I was freezing up again, and it's pretty warm in here. I'm good. No, I tend to think it's on your end. Nobody else complaining, and people said no, it's fine. So, it's possible. Like you get if you live on a street with a bunch of people on the same provider. If it's a peak time, you could get a bad signal. That's how it happens to me sometimes. It's a peak time here. Usually when I'm on, at certain points when I'm on. So I think that's what happened. I think it's only happening to you. What do I think of Parker Jones? 6'7", maybe they should have him try defense. I see a Hab prospect. I honestly don't know the name. So I don't know. 6'7", he means he's a big MFer. But other than that, I don't really know. The Jets are kind of regressing after trending upwards and falling short for multiple seasons. Yes, I know that. Yeah. I think that Blake Wheeler might be a scapegoat. Maybe there's some problems there with him too, but I think sounds to me like it anyway. So I don't forget. I know people wanted to see this. So now we got to, there's 21 people. I'm going to show you a teaser from my short that's coming out tomorrow. I'm not going to lift, I'm not wearing shorts today anyway, so it's not that. I can't make that joke. But this is from the short that I'm working on. It's called 5 Reasons the Montreal Canadiens Are the Best, and I'm going to tease you with number 5.
They have the best sweater and logo. You heard me.
I don't know. It's not really meant to be funny or anything, but whatever. Just meant to get it. Anyway, so that's number 5. I won't give you the rest because they're not all finished, and I don't want to show the whole thing here because it's not up yet. All right, back to comments. Rick, that was the worst thing I ever saw. Why did you show that to us? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say after that. Awkward. So did any local Montreal people that saw me on the news on CBC by chance? I'm just curious if anybody just caught it. Not the best sweater anymore with the RBC patch. Yeah, you notice I didn't really put that there. I had a picture of it. I was going to use it, and I wanted to put like an X on it. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do that. And I didn't do it. But I agree with you. I'll tell you the truth. Luca, I agree with you on that. I don't like that patch. They could have done a better job on it. I mean, it's going to be there eventually. It's going to happen. But, man, do a better job on the patch. You just approved like a piece of shit to put on your sweater. I don't get it. I don't know who approved that. They should be fired. Hey, Harry. Hey, Harry, the kid that everyone thinks is my son. Hey, son, how you doing? How you doing, Harry? Can't be in here for long and have the audio muted since he didn't even hear any of that. I'm at a gig. My dad's. Hopefully it's the congrats on being on TV. Have a great stream, everyone. Oh, I didn't. I guess Harry caught that on TV, but he can't hear me. So I wasted all that, and he can't hear me. Hi, Harry. All right. I don't know. I'm crazy today. Don't ask me why. I think, like I said, I'm a little loopy from out of lack of sleep or just a weird kind of whirlwind kind of day yesterday. Hey, Sean, how you doing? I'll tell you in a sec. How's that? Sean asked me what I was on the news first. Finally, someone asked me. All right. So I've been living in the buildings here where I live for 5 years now. I guess it's almost 2 years. It's over 2 years. I think it's just a little over 2 years ago. The building, and we had new owners who promised, nothing will change. But if you look them up, you didn't get good results on Google. So it turns out that they're doing some horrible things here and they're trying to renovict us. Not me so much yet in my building, but one of the other buildings where I have a friend or two that live there. And then there was this mentally challenged kid, really nice kid. And they evicted him for no reason. He's mentally challenged and he got a payment from the government to help pay his rent. And there was a screw up, something like that happened. This kid missed his rent. And they skirted around to go to the rental board, and so that they didn't have to let him know that he was mentally challenged, and they got him kicked out and all that. They let him come get his stuff today. So this all happened, and somebody, I don't know who reached out to CBC, but somebody did, and people have been to lawyers already, and they came for an interview. And I was asked if I would like to take part. And it's kind of that situation, you've heard it probably before, but, they came for my neighbors and I said nothing, and then they came for me. And that's what's going to happen here. I know it because it's going to happen. So I got involved. And it's not that I want to move or I want to be in trouble or whatever, but I want to be here. But, they're treating me all summer. I couldn't do videos. That's why I didn't do a lot of videos this summer. I couldn't work during the day to make a video because of the noise. And I don't really like working at night like that anymore. And I wanted to take a quiet summer that way. So daytime was really screwed up for me. It was a hell. It was like we looked like we were in Ukraine in the front of our building. All summer. It took them all summer to do one side and the front, partially rebricking it, just here and there. And it took them also 5 months to do that. And stuff like that. So, so we're just, there's laws now against slumlords, if this is who these guys are, because it seems like it. And you did my part. So I got on the news, and you might see me on, if you in Montreal, on the, I don't know, other stations came around looking for us for interviews, But the other local stations will probably want an interview on the story. If they like the story, they think it's a big story. So I don't know. I might be on again. I don't know. And that's why I was on the news. With the RBC patch on the sweater. Hey, Quinn, by the way. Hey, Quinn. What will happen with the CIBC logo on the ice? I couldn't tell you, but I think what they're doing is for the helmet, if I'm correct, the helmet when they're on the road, when they're at home. See, I'm not sure if it's on the road, it's CIBC on the helmet, and at home it says Bell, or it's reversed. I would think that CIBC is still a sponsor. I don't think that's a problem. Quinn, right now to watch it, you got to go on CBC's website and see if it's there. They're supposed to put it there. I have a link in the description. I believe it's in the description. You guys tell me. There's a link in the description. I think it says here's where to watch the clip. Yeah, so go there. and I click on that, and that should work. So there you go. Hey, Ken Johnson, how you doing? Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you're well. Yeah, so what else do we want to talk about? So yeah, if anybody does want to see it, just click on the link. I was starting to say go to CBC, and it then hit me like, oh yeah, you put a link in the description. Idiot. Yeah, it's me. I called myself an idiot. What are you gonna do? So yeah, so what else you got to talk about? We got lots of time. We're not even 20 minutes. We're 20 minutes in, so we got lots of time. Yes, I should say this because you never know. Maybe you guys want to help out. We have a GoFundMe. If you go to GoFundMe.com and you just type in the campaign, we need help to fight this Renoviction. Renoviction is RENEVICTION. If you want to contribute anything, we need all the help we can. This for the mentally handicapped kid. He's been tossed out, and so he needs some help financially. And we're trying to raise a little money for that, and for any money we might need for our defense if it comes to that. So yeah, if you guys are interested, GoFundMe. We need help to fight this Renoviction. That's the campaign, and I'd really appreciate it. And if you do, I want to thank you if you do ahead of time. And if you don't, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, there you go. Let's see. Oh, Phil, I just explained it. Filibuster's in the room, and I just explained it. It's about trying to defend ourselves against this Renoviction. That there's 7 buildings here that the owners own, and they're doing some horrible things here. If you want to see the appearance, there is a link in the description, and it will get you there. And I believe that link is sent to the other guy that I appeared with. The two of us here. The reporter sent him that link, so you kind of should work for everybody. Any more news on Carey Price? No, nothing. I've heard nothing else. He's going to be hanging around the team. So my hot take about him retiring in a training camp, that does not seem to be that's going to come true at all. He's going to be hanging around the team, not constantly, but on and off through the season, and trying to rehab the knee still, and that's it. There's no more than that. And I don't think you'll hear any more than that for a while. Ryan, hey, Ryan, how you doing? What do you think Philip Mishar's potential is? He looked really good in the rookie camp. I gotta say, I agree with you. Mishar really looked good. He's got some chemistry there with his friend Slavkovsky. So, I think Mishar will probably start with Laval. I think I thought maybe the OHL, but I don't know. He looks really good. I think maybe he's ready to go to Laval. I don't think he won't start in Montreal. I really doubt it, but I think he'll start in Laval. And, who knows from there? Hey, Ronnie, how you doing? Is there any further news with the Habs ridding themselves of some of their high-priced players? Nothing. No, not you. I'd have done a video if that had happened. Unless it happened yesterday, but it didn't. But, yeah, nothing yet. We're kind of waiting, like it's, waiting for the pin to drop. Basic Habs fan, how you doing? Well, I appreciate that. He says, proud of you, Rick, for doing the right thing. I imagine he saw the piece on CBC News. And, in the end, that's kind of what it is, right? It's the right thing to do. I got to say, though, I'm a little disappointed in the piece in that they could have hit harder with it. I thought, I gave them a little more. So did the other guy, Chris. So I'm just curious as to why that didn't happen, or I'm being overly critical. I don't know. But I imagine I'll speak. There might be a follow-up by them, and if anything else happens, they said to call them, and we'll come back and do another interview. So, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Quinn, yeah, I mean that's slumlords is really what. And if you research these guys, because when they took over the building, I was told this could be a problem. The owner, so I did. I looked them up, and not very good. Just not very good. When you look up a person, and the first thing you see now on Google is, like some kind of something bad, with the law, or they did something, they broke a rule or whatever it is, right? Some disciplinary action. If that's like the first thing you see of somebody, it's not going to be good the rest of the way either. So it's kind of what happened with that guy. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Listen, right now, I mean, it's I'm not going crazy. I'm doing okay. I have a lease for another year and plus a little bit. Not much they can do. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't sit down with if somebody tries to put their boot on my neck. I don't usually handle that well. Joseph commenting on Meshar, looks good. He has played wing and center and doesn't look out of place. No, he looked one of the better on the first game. Anyway, I mean, you noticed him, and he had some plays. He had that goal with Slavkovsky. Yeah. Oh, and Beck looked good too. Yeah. BL, yeah, they're thinking that apparently these guys that own our building, they tried to buy a few other buildings here, like they wanted to own everything, and we're thinking that they're trying to gentrify, or doing that low, no, that short term kind of renting, B&B type stuff, maybe executive suites type stuff, where you can really maximize your money. That's what they're trying to do at our expense. Did you see how the Buffalo player tried to lay Slav out and he stood up to the hit? What I saw was more often than not, if somebody hit Slavkovsky, he didn't get moved very far from it. Like, well, he's 6'3", 238, and then you got Arbor, who's 6'4", 238. So these are two. I don't know they're just two mountains, and if they like Slavkovsky can skate, if he hits you while he's moving, woof. So yeah, it was really cool. I saw him stand up to a number of hits. Quinn, it's coming soon. It's coming soon. I know the pre-games. I don't know how many of the pre-games. I imagine one or two are on Saturday. So we're going to be doing the preseason stuff, as I always do. And yeah, so it'll be back in full swing. Less than a month now. Right, we're under a month, and season opens. So time just it's not marching on; it's full out running to the start of the season. Ryan, I think they're doing this kind of stuff everywhere. I know for Verdun, though, I believe Montreal, the city of Montreal, which Dorval is not a part of the city of Montreal, but we opted out. They have passed a law. I think there's a law against it, and they're prosecuting landlords that are doing it. But I don't know about it here. But here the mayor's involved. You saw the mayor. If you watch the video, the mayor is getting involved. We'll see what happens. But I feel good about it. Until they come after me. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to get some kind of retaliation. We'll see. Yeah, I lost my concentration there for a sec. Fall, early winter is an amazing time of year for sports. Hockey full swing, NFL full swing, MLB playoffs. Okay, hockey. I don't watch much football, and I don't watch baseball. But I mean, listen, enjoy it. Why not? I mean, I used to like the football, no, but I mean, hockey and baseball, yeah. I mean, I used to. They overlap, but I mean, as soon as hockey started, the baseball was a little bit secondary, And then if they were doing well, the Expos, and it was like hockey starting, and it doesn't matter, And then when it was playoffs, and then baseball starting, nobody knew about baseball till the playoffs were over. So Montreal went far. We didn't care about the Expos till that was done. You guys must remember that, you Montrealers. Yeah, I didn't miss anything. I have no notes. What's my problem? I have no notes. Do I have anything? No. Well, in the dark last night, I went to my ex-wife, my son and I. We went, well, our son, because she's his mother, too. So I had supper there. I came home around 10. I was talking with somebody outside, so maybe it was 10:15. So I'm sitting in the dark. And about midnight, I'm like, okay, what do I do? Like, I didn't feel like reading, which is what I was going to do. I can't watch anything. I don't have data on my phone. So then I'll write something. Let's see, maybe I was thinking about writing, for a video. And I ended up writing a poem, which I didn't fully finish. It's not about hockey. But yes, I thought that was interesting. I'm going to finish it. I got it mostly done. It's kind of, I don't know if it's right for the channel or not, to be honest with you. How many did I get? What, 6, 8, 8.5? I got 8.5 verses of a poem. And my cat just broke in. Nice. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll see if that comes out or not. Or I'll just maybe read it one day on a live stream or something. Ryan, I would agree with you. I'd love to see the Expos come back. Just I don't watch baseball since the way they were pulled away from my heart. They were. I loved the Expos, and they were just pulled away, and I haven't watched them since. Well, I haven't watched the Washington. I want to say the Senators, and I know they're not the Senators. That's how much I follow them. Well, Nationals. That's it. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. I don't like Mondays. Blue Monday. I mean, how could you? It's okay. The pain's gone away, but I recently saw. I don't know why I saw this or where it was, but I saw maybe a YouTube video about it and something, and it brought all the same feelings back and the disappointment. But I'll never forget that, because like when they brought in Steve Rogers to take him out, or to get him out anyway, I knew this was a mistake, because Steve Rogers traditionally had trouble. The first inning for him in a game was kind of shaky most of the time, right? If he got out of the first inning, he was good to go usually the rest of the way, but he could have trouble in the first, if I remember correctly. That's what's in. And so they brought him in, and it was like, no. And I don't blame Steve Rogers. He shouldn't have been in that spot, but yeah. So, you see, I could talk about baseball, but not today. I don't know anybody today, hardly. Stan says, was it 93 or 95 that the Spos had the best team in baseball? 94. I guess it was 94, and the strike ended the season, and we probably would have been in the World Series. And then in 95, they sold everybody. All the good players, almost all the good players, gone. John Wetland, Marquise Grissom. I don't know if Delino went then or not, but I mean, they just, everybody was gone. One of the pitchers there, not Floyd. What was his name? I think we got him from the Cardinals. He was gone. He was pretty good. Just all the good gone. It was just horrible. Maybe even, is that when they got rid of the Canadian kid from Vancouver there, the outfield, can't remember his name, Larry Walker. I think that's when Larry Walker went. It was horrible. And we had the best team in baseball at that time, and they were never the same again after that. They were never the same, and 11 years later, gone. When did you get into writing poetry? See nowadays. Oh, you missed all. I've got I don't know how many poetry videos on this channel about hockey. I write Canadians poetry, hockey poetry. I write others not as much now because I write sports poetry basically. But I've been doing this since it's got to be at least 2 years. Might be 3. I'm almost 4 years. It might be almost 3 years I'm doing it. Listen, there's a lot of videos out there, poetry. I don't know how you'd search them necessarily, but there's a lot of videos. I've got a good 20 videos that are poetry. Hope's, I got lost again in my thoughts. Hope's laugh plays a little rougher than what I saw. He is a big and strong, but I don't know how aggressive his play really is. Yeah, that I don't know either. I don't know. We're going to find out. And, he's only 18, so I would imagine even if he's not overly aggressive now, he can develop that kind of play. What's with all the trade talk of Edmondson and who's Galt? Is that from Atlas Shrugged? Who is John Galt? Wasn't that the name? I don't know who Galt is, so I can't tell you about that. And lately, talk of Edmondson being traded, I haven't heard any. He's just been named the alternate, and so he's not going anywhere. And really, if you really want to work, if people are wondering, they're going to trade Gallagher, they got to get rid. They're not. They just named him the alternate. I doubt they're trading him. It's not that they can't, but I doubt it. That's kind of a bit of a vote of confidence on their part by still, So he's not going anywhere either. But no, I don't think Edmondson. I haven't heard that. Hey, David, how you doing, man? Joseph said Gallagher. Oh, I see. You meant Gallagher. So Gallagher is John Galt. Did anybody ever read Atlas Shrugged, or am I the only one here? It's not I don't believe in the ideology of that book by any means, but I read it. Hey, Danny Tabernac. Mon SC Tabernac is here. How you doing? Renault, oh boy, Renault's here. If Machar develops better than Slavkovsky after a few years and gets more points, will the pick be a reach? Well, obviously not. I mean, you answer your own question there, I think, Renault. Awesome, Luca, just give me a minute and I will get that done. Quinn says, I've seen most. Don't worry, just wondering how that started for you. I get you. I've always probably written poetry for many years. Yes, it was natural. One day I thought of writing a poem. And I did, and I've been doing it. And then you got Filibuster, who just started this. He loves the poems, and he kind of really encouraged me to write more and more and more. And that's kind of so. I owe a lot to Phil Saint. Phil, Phil. It's not coming to me. I owe a lot to him because he is my biggest poetry fan. All right, so I got it. Let me do this for Luca. Let me do this. I hope. Yeah, I didn't go out of StreamYard. I've done that before, where I just went out. I will need to invite somebody. I got to get the link. It's kind of important. All right, isn't it great? You got to watch me do this. Yeah, maybe close, because I click the X and you're supposed to close. So hang on, I know this not very exciting. I should have music or something. So while I do it, on a game show, dun, 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 while I do this, that could kind of work. I have no idea what I'm doing. Sending the link to Luca. Do I have you listed here? Please say it saved it. It saved it, Luca. It saved it. Wow. Okay, that, and then I got to do it this way. And there is the link. Thing is, I'm on camera here now, right? I talk to myself like this is not on camera. Like I just talk to myself. I've been living alone a long time. I think I'm living alone too long. I talk to myself too much. But there you go. I think I said that out loud, which is really good. All right. We shall be joined by Luca in very few minutes, I would think. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Would I be shocked if Mayshar pans out better than Slavkovsky down the road? No. But don't call either of them busts until it is down the road. Yes, the future doctor is coming on. He's coming on. Hey, Moonlight. Here's my opinion. Feel free to critique it. Slav starts in the NHL. Mayshar starts in the OHL. Gooley starts in the AHL and goes to the NHL. Barron starts in the AHL. Harris starts in NHL. Thoughts? Hang on a second there. Let's bring in. Okay. I don't know what that says for a name. Let's bring in my guest. Hey, Luca, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Spectacular. Oh, I get it now.
So on the Habs Twitter last night, after Beck's goal, they put spectacular.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I couldn't watch. I had no power last night. The transformer blew outside my building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Owen Beck has been probably one of the best prospects for them in the 2 games, I would say.
Yeah, he was good. First game I saw, I heard his name a lot, noticed him a lot. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's been good.
Best crop of like in the for the rookie camp and everything. Like it's the best crop of rookies. Would you say that we've had in a while?
In terms of depth, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like over, through the list, it's getting better now. Like yeah. It's getting a lot better. What did you think of Slavkovsky in the 2? He didn't play in the second, did he?
No, he just played in the 1 game.
Right, and Gooley played in the second, but not in the first. Am I right?
Gooley hasn't played yet.
He hasn't played. He's playing tomorrow. I know that. I read he's playing tomorrow. What did you think of Slavkovsky?
Yeah, he did. He was as advertised, I would say. Very good in terms of like puck protection and being able to like hold up the play and set up other people for sure with his size and his strength. You saw the 1 goal that they scored shorthanded where he like
beautiful goal. That's when I turned it on. I pretty much turned it on there. It was beautiful. Sorry.
Yeah, he outskated the guy. I think the guy had maybe about 20 feet on him, I would say.
Oh God, did he?
Beat him to the puck, got to the boards, shielded him with his body, and then made a nice pass to Mayshar coming in. And Mayshar finished it.
It was beautiful. And I went, oh boy, welcome to Montreal, Uri. And then the rest of it, like I was expecting, oh wow, we're gonna see this all night. He was pretty good, but I was hoping to see that happen again.
Yeah, there were some shifts. There were some shifts where he was like kind of like skating around, not really sure where to be. 100%.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
But most shifts, he really did his best to try and make an impact, even if it was trying to like go 1-on-5. And he even said himself, like he said, he's got to limit his turnovers, and he says that he's got to perform better. But you can see like the cerebral part of his game and the size and the speed and the skill, like it's all there.
You know what? The size and speed definitely was on display. Even if you didn't think like, okay, you didn't have every play work out perfectly, but this guy can move.
Yeah,
he can move, and he's 238 pounds. Imagine getting hit by that.
Yeah, some people tried to lay some hits on him. There was one where a guy tried to go an open ice hit when he was coming to the middle, and he just like stood up like a brick wall. He didn't even move after the hit.
Yeah, I saw a few hits where he barely moved after, with the hit. So yeah, this kid's gonna be perfect for power play right in front of the net.
Yeah, and that's where he was on the power play in the first game. He was right in front of the net.
Yeah,
he had a couple of good chances there as well.
A hell of a big shield. What do you think about your friend? Because you went to school with him. What do you think about Arbor? Arbor looks big, man.
Yeah, he is. He's a big kid. He was not that big when we were in high school together. So he definitely put on a lot of size for sure.
Wow, he is big. And you know what else I noticed? Because I wasn't sure, but I was starting to read that the kid can play hockey. It's on display. He can play hockey. He's not just out there to be a big body to bang people around. He's out there for other reasons too. And when do you think? What would you think his timeline is to hit Montreal?
He'll probably spend the season in Laval this season.
That's what I'm saying too.
Then potentially maybe he's like a 7th D next, not this season coming up, but the next season after. It's just the processing speed at the NHL level.
Yep, I agree.
Like he has a good first pass. He's pretty good defensively, like in his own end. It's just the game moves faster at the NHL level. And if I remember from the preseason last year, it moved too fast.
Yeah.
So maybe this year, he'll his pace of play, like his decision making, has become sharper and quicker, and maybe he proves us wrong. But I think a year in Laval is probably.
I think so too. I've been saying that. I've been asked a few times. I think a year in Laval before he gets to Montreal. Doesn't mean we won't see him a game or two here because there's an injury or whatever. And I imagine they'll want to look at one point during the season to see how he's developing, right? To see if the game is whatever, like that stuff is working out. But I don't think we're going to see him full time here this year. Besides, they've got. I got to figure they want to have probably Barron, Harris, and Gooley here in Montreal working on developing, I would think.
Yeah, I would think so too. So I would think after like Matheson, Savard, Wideman, right? After those guys, Eddie, after those 4 guys, you have 2 spots left for Barron, Harris, and Gooley. So.
And then Wideman, I don't think Wideman's full-time. Like, I don't think he's every game. So Wideman's probably going to get – I got him at 60 or 65 games in my prediction there. He's going to give some games so they can get, these kids in on, against weak teams. You probably you probably have the 3 guys playing, I think anyway. So, yeah.
And then in terms of Barron and Harris, when they played with Montreal close to the end of last season, they were not out of place at all. They definitely
looked that's right.
NHL ready players. I mean, like younger, so they're bound to make some mistakes, but
of course,
definitely their decision making, the crispness, they're not afraid to move with the puck, join the rush, carry it to the neutral zone.
Harris especially,
they're both confident players on the puck. So
I hear I'm reading kind of that Harris probably going to play a lot on the right. So he's going to play both sides, but he's probably going to play a lot on the right because of their kind of lack. So between Barron and Harris, I think you'll see them split a lot of like games that way. Mm-hmm. And then I think Wideman doesn't play every game. And then
if both of them perform extremely well, and then if Gooley even performs very well next week and in the coming weeks, maybe that's something they have to talk with Wideman to just be like, hey, can you be there to support these guys?
Yeah.
Right. Like,
I think that's what it is. I think definitely. Yeah. Let's get to 1 or 2 of these comments. I think I'm falling behind. I don't know. Why do I keep we were talking about rookie games? Renault being ridiculous. Arbor gave me a Weber vibe in front of net with the low hip cross checks. Solid D man for sure. Played responsibly. Weber vibe. I get that from Gooley, big time.
Yeah.
Right? And you're hearing people talking about it, like when you're reading stories about him. They're saying he's a Weber-like defense. They're not saying he's Weber, but he's a Weber-like defenseman with the big hits, and he's got offense too.
He doesn't quite have the slap shot.
No, I didn't say he's not Weber, but he puts up pretty good numbers, and he delivers some pretty big hits. Mm-hmm. So he's Weber-like.
I don't expect him to be a power play contributor like in the NHL, but he is someone who's going to be steady. And I guess off the ice too, he also kind of has a Weber vibe in terms of,
captain material.
He's very mature. Yeah. He's very well spoken for the most part. And he's just a kid that's like, I'm here to do my job. And that's to, block pucks, break up plays, and
break
making
bodies.
passes into the neutral zone, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's a kid that is working hard, and you've
Yeah.
seen the development, from when they drafted him in 2020 to where he
Yeah.
is now, arguably the best defenseman in the CHL this year, probably. So, like,
Yeah.
one of the top 3, I would say.
Yeah, he's going to be a good one. I think potentially first pairing defenseman, and give him a few years, he'll work his way up there.
Potentially.
Potentially, I'm not saying for sure, but I mean, I think potentially right now, if they don't, and they might not find a guy that's better than that. Hopefully, they will. I don't think he's going to be the offensive, the puck mover, but I can see him being, the stay-at-home kind of guy on a top pair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, if he develops into it, I'm not giving it to him, but I think he'll develop into it.
Yeah, the Habs don't have a clear cut, like, this guy's 100% going to be a number 1 defenseman in the NHL. They don't have that in their system.
We don't have that. No,
they have a lot of guys who can be a 2 or a 3 or a 4 option for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
The one guy who has the skill set to be a top pair defenseman is Hudson.
Yes,
he has the skill.
And you could see a guy like Gooley paired up with a guy like Hudson be a great pairing, right? I think so. So yeah, I could see that. I hope Hudson. He grew an inch, Hudson. He already grew an inch.
5'10" now.
No, he's 5'9". He was 5'8" when they drafted him. He's 5'9" now, and he's still growing. So it kind of was true, maybe, what he was saying about his bone age. And if he can get one more inch out of there and be 5'10", I think that makes a big difference, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, 5'8" versus 5'10", that extra reach,
Yep.
And then as you get taller, you're going to put on more mass, obviously. So
yeah, true too.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, this kid's got. I mean, he's got talent, like Obut, and that, like, to the end, man. This kid's got a lot of talent. Can he put it all together? I hope so, because he could be like a real steal out of that draft if he works out and hits his potential.
Yeah, if he puts up Luke Hughes numbers, like, Luke Hughes was amazing for Michigan this past season as a freshman. If he can do something similar to that, we're going to be sitting here next off season, in September, October, being like, this guy was an absolute steal.
Yeah, I agree with that. I want to do a video on him. I haven't gotten around to it.
He's a very smart player. Like,
yes.
He's extremely smart. Like, when I watch film of him and his reads and his ability to process the play, here's a guy we're talking, like, he processes the game at an elite level. Now it's just a matter of putting the size and the skating ability into it.
And you look at a lot of the players right now here and prospects, right? Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, they process the game really fast. Sean Farrell,
yeah.
This kid's going to be, we got some real, like, you could see that the work that they said they were going to do, like getting guys like that, they're here. They've done a good job in drafting. Even you got to give Bergevin some credit there too, right? They've drafted some really, I don't know what you call it, players like that process the game that quickly. Although the kids process the game so much faster than when I was younger, like, it's a really different game.
Yeah, this summer they interviewed Adam Nicholas and they asked him about Farrell, and for Adam Nicholas to say this kid is a special player, that, like, you take some stock into that, because you think about who Adam Nicholas has worked with. He's worked with Matthews, he's worked with Marner, right? Like, it's not like he's just some random guy. He's worked with some of the top players in the NHL, and for him to go out and say this kid is a special player, in terms of his ability to read plays on the ice, to be in the right spot at the right time, to make plays that no one else will see on the ice, like, that bodes very well for his projection and his development to being a regular top 6 contributor for the Habs, like 5-10 years in the line for sure.
Yeah, you got to figure that. What's the nickname he gave him? Was it the Assassin or something like that? The Quiet Assassin. I think it might have been the Quiet Assassin, something like that. He gave him a nickname. Like, this kid's gonna be good, Farrell.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how his sophomore season plays out this year, because his freshman season was great, over a point per game with Harvard. So
I know a lot of people thinking he's going to be in camp, and he's not going to be in camp. He's in college.
Yeah,
we won't see him for another 2 years, I would think.
Depending on how this season goes. If he has a Caulfield-like season and he puts up, 50 points in 30 games, we're not talking about college for 2 more years. We're talking about giving this kid a look.
Okay, but I mean, that's if he doesn't want, like, maybe he wants to finish out his,
Maybe.
I can see that maybe, he's a smart kid. It sounds like he's a smart kid. Like, this kid might want to stay in college for the education part and, put it off for a couple of years till he gets here. So we'll see, but he'll be here eventually. He'll be here. And I think this is one of the reasons why Montreal's gone and gotten a lot bigger. Not like every player, because you see it in the rookie camp. There's still a lot of small players in the system. But it's like it's going to be yin and yang, right? The big guy with a small guy, or at least for every small player on the ice, there will be at least one big guy on that line to protect them and give them the room that they need to do what they got to do. And you can see how that's building, and I can't wait to see, because these small kids have such talent. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
So hopefully that works out. I mean, I'm really excited about the next, even this season. I mean, I know we're going to lose a lot. We're going to see a lot of goals go into the net. But somebody was telling me, I don't know if you saw my projection for the points. So I predicted for the team, because I gave everybody whatever point. I just added the goals. So I predicted goals for was 333, which is a lot.
Yeah.
I know. They only got 218, I think, last season. Somebody really chewed me up in a comment of how crazy I am to make that prediction. Now, they might not hit 333. I get that. Partially because at least 2 of the players on my list are going to be traded, in my opinion. So their goals won't be there anyway, right? So I should have taken that into account when I said it. But how do you feel their offense is going to be?
I think it'll probably be the same as what it was in the back half of 2021, 2022 season, where they'd have games where they'd lose, 5-4.
Yeah.
But then they're also going to give you the occasional 3-1 stinker as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like we don't have like a proven, someone who's going to score every single night, or someone you can count on to, score every other night. Right.
Well, we don't know yet. I suspect we have one. But we don't know yet, right? Can he do that for the full 82 games?
For the full 82 games, that's what I'm thinking. He was 22 and 37 under St. Louis, so half a goal ish, just over half a goal a game.
Yeah, I'm saying. She said every other night. That's what we're looking at, right?
But they were also
potentially there
in spurts too. Like he had where he'd score like 5 and 5 and 5, and then he'd go 6 games without a goal. And
I know. I'm averaging out, but hopefully the offense is the kind that, well, one guy like that he's got an off night, somebody else is picking up the slack, because they definitely have the potential for that. At least 1 or 2 guys that are on, and then there'll be the game, like you said, that'll be the total stinker.
There's so many questions around the health of a lot of players, like a lot of people in the forward group, that you're not going to have everybody every night.
No, for sure not.
You think about players who have been hurt, or you've heard about injuries and things like that. Like you go down the list. We'll start with Monahan, Kirby Dach, Gallagher, Byron, Hoffman. Armia was out with COVID protocol, but that's a bit of an.
Yeah, no, listen, injuries are going to play a part. They always do. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I was reading, there was an article today, not long before the stream, about Gallagher. I saw it on Twitter, and how he is he's like really pumped for this season. Thinks they're saying he's gonna have a big comeback. I have him at probably something like 20 goals, 15 assists, and I think I have him at 65 games, because I don't think he's gonna play a full season. Does he ever anymore? I don't think so.
Well, his brand of hockey, it's harder for him to play a full season with his brand.
It's harder, right? So, but I think if he gets 35 points so at 35, that would be a little over a half a point a game. I think that's a pretty good comeback for him this year.
If he gets second power play time, I can see him getting 20 goals. If not, then I don't know how he scores 20 goals, because I don't see a situation where he's in the top 6.
You know what? I don't disagree completely on that because I don't know if I would have broken it down in that way, but I agree because I don't think he's going to be a top guy. I think he's going to be a third liner. Hang on a sec. Sorry about
Yeah.
this. I think he's going to be a third liner. I don't see how he cracks the top six.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a game here and there, like maybe because of injuries, but I mean, not on a regular basis.
There's a log jam, like in terms of people on this team who should be top six contributors if they're having a good game, and Gallagher just doesn't crack that. So
I mean, unless he has this huge comeback, I mean, but I still, like you said, I don't see where the ice time, and the opportunity for, I mean, I think he can still hit 20 goals somehow over the season, but I don't disagree with what you're saying. That's
even let's assume that Slavkovsky doesn't end up being in Montreal long term this season. He gets his 9 games, and they're like,
right,
we're going to send you to Laval or whatever, and you're going to be the guy there, and you're going to get your 20 minutes or so there.
Right.
You're going to have Caulfield, Suzuki, Anderson as your top line.
I think somewhat. I don't think every day because Anderson is a very streaky player, and I think there's times where they'll have 2 guys that they can interchange there.
But then now you have Drouin, Dadonov, Doc, Wanahan, Dvorak. That's already 5 players.
I know
for that second line, and we haven't even talked about Galley yet.
Yeah, first of all, Drouin. Listen, Drouin's gonna have to
Hoffman because he's not going to play on a third or fourth checking line.
But Drouin, for me, is going to have to earn his way into the top 6. I'm sorry, but he's going to have to earn his way in there. Hoffman was playing really good at the end of the season on that top line with Suzuki and Caulfield. If you remember the last 10 games, I think they had him there. And that's when he put up the most points, I think, in like a 10-game period over the season was then. So, he's an option there. So, but there's a log jam. Players have to move. What do you think about that? Before we'll get to some people in the chat, but what do you think? Some movement coming, or do you think they can go into the season and start with $260,000 in cap space?
I don't know. I don't know if who are they taking calls on? Realistically, who are other teams calling?
No, I agree.
Right?
I don't know
you about Josh Anderson. Maybe they're calling you about Christian Dvorak. Maybe they're calling you about him. And what are they going to give you, a 3rd-round pick for him? Probably.
Yeah, right.
So you're legitimately only taking calls on one player, Josh Anderson, who you figure is going to be around.
I would think.
I hope he wouldn't be spending most of his summer here in Montreal. If they didn't see him long term.
I agree. I kind of agree.
So, why?
Well, he said he's not trading him unless they get their socks knocked off. Then you'd think if that was going to happen, it had happened by now, right?
Maybe
if they were going to get that offer where they can refuse, I wouldn't think that would happen by now. Yeah. So he's here. I don't want them to trade him.
I think by the trade deadline, though.
Yes.
Depending on guys who are on expiring contracts, if they're playing at a rate that teams are going to be interested for some depth scoring, like 3rd-line scoring.
Yeah, if you think you need a little bit more scoring because you're a contender, you're going to reach out for one of these guys at the deadline.
They'll definitely reach out for one of these guys, especially on 50% retained, which is what the Habs are going to do. They're going to do 50% retained on these guys, just like they did with Sherratt.
And it's only a portion of their salary because it's the end of the season. So, I think for sure they're going to move those guys that need to be moved. Question on that, one more because it's kind of important. There was a rumor that they were talking to Jake Allen for an extension, and even Jake Allen, I read in an interview, said that yes, they've had discussions. That's all you can say, but it's just been they've had discussions. What do you think about that situation?
Honestly, I don't see why not. You have Montembeault this year and next year. I think he's got 2 years, right?
2-year deal, yeah.
2 years. They did Primo for his 3 years.
Yeah.
I don't see why keeping Allen is a bad thing when you have 2 young guys that you're trying to have them compete for the spot for the future. I mean, having Allen there as a veteran presence to help them, along with Carey,
Mentor, yeah.
he's going to be around the team, right?
Yeah,
So
Carey's going to be
have
around
those
too, which
guys
is
to,
great.
to
Yeah.
mentor the younger goalies coming
Yep.
up.
Yeah.
It provides you a little bit of insulation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think so. I think only the people I think that want to tank really bad are okay. But if you're not into, like, if you don't find that necessary that they've got to do that to get Bedard, then you want Allen here. He's a good steadying force for the young guys. Force is the right word, but he's a mentor, and he'll do that job that Carey would have been doing if he was, and you got a guy that I think I really like. He's a character guy. I think he's a good guy to have mentoring your young goalies if it's not going to be Carey Price, right?
Yeah, and I've never heard anyone say anything bad about Jake as a person. It's like
Nope.
From what I hear from all the other players is he's a great locker room guy, and he's just an all around good person to be around. So having that guy around in the room, a guy that can eat up games, like when someone's down, and he's not going to be making much anyway, but he's a guy that can eat up games, whether it's going to blow out if he loses in a blowout or if he loses in a 2-1 game,
and he's even he's even tempered about it. Well, I don't know if that's the right word either, but he can handle that pressure or the losing. Like he can handle it. He can, the mental part of that, so because you want a guy that can handle it, because they're going to lose. Even if he's going to have a fantastic game, and they're still going to lose some of those games.
Yeah,
so
that happened.
To be able to handle it
season for sure.
Yeah. So okay. And what do you think they sign him for? If they sign him again, what do you think they sign him for?
What was his current contract? 2.3, 2.5, or something like that.
Whose contract you broke up there?
Jake's current contract. It's 2.
I'm still not getting the name. I don't know why. Contract now 2.87.
2.87.
Yeah.
So, he signed that when he was what, 29, 28? When did he sign?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So you
figure he's 33 now.
Probably...
Wait, no, he's 33 now. He just signed. That was the extension he signed when he got he came here. They signed him to an extra year. Or 2. Was it 2 at 2.87? So just 2 seasons ago.
So I don't see how 2 years at $2 million a season is that.
You don't think he'll get a raise?
He's getting older.
He's getting older. Yeah, I didn't contemplate that.
You're not paying him to be your number one goalie. You're paying him to be the guy that backs up Primo.
Yeah, no, you're right. I wasn't really, when I was thinking about the number. Didn't take that into account. He's 33. So I think he's 33. Am I right? Or 30 or 33? Do you know offhand?
He's younger. He's a few years younger than Price. So he's probably in his early 30s. I don't know.
Yeah, so he's 33. I think that's what I read. So yeah, but you're right. I think 2 years at 2, maybe 2.5 per.
Yeah, 2.5.
I would give it that. You're right. I think that might be the number, but I think it'll be a 2-year extension is what they'll offer him.
Mm-hmm. Just as a stopgap, while Primo gets more seasoned, more experience.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's got to stay in Laval. I want to see Primo in Laval all year without.
Oh, he if he can dominate Laval this season, play 50 games or whatever, that would be huge.
That's what I think, and I think I read somewhere the plan for Primo was 200 AHL games, and he hadn't even hit 100 at the end of last season. So he's got a lot of games to see. Like, he could be 2 years down there still, and it's going to be fine.
It depends, because his playoff run this season was elite by AHL goalie standards. His playoff run.
So we'll see how he has the season. He may have accelerated it. I get it.
Yeah. So if he continues that play down in Laval, he'll get his confidence. He'll get his confidence up, and he'll be here sooner rather than later to stay, not to be here for 3 games and then sent back down.
Yeah, I don't want to see them do that. I don't want to see him go through that again. He needs a full season in Laval, dominating down there, winning. Hopefully this time going all the way down there, and that would be great for him. So, yeah. All right, let's look for some comments. For everybody that I missed, well, you won't hear me say sorry and have a good night because you're gone already. Bacon says, in his opinion, Slav put too much pressure on himself by trying too much. Things will take care along the way. You think that's what he was doing? He was just trying too hard. Trying too hard.
Um, I wouldn't say he was trying too hard. I'm just there was moments where there was times where he would try and make plays and he would expect the guys to be there and they wouldn't be there.
Okay, that's
And so then sometimes that would lead to turnovers because he's expecting guys to be in an open space that he's just throwing the puck to without looking.
right.
But then guys aren't there because most of the players there are not thinking the game at the same level that Slavkovsky's thinking it, right?
And they were just put together too, so there's no real chemistry there either, except between
besides for him and Mishar,
Yeah,
him and
there was
Mishar,
definitely chemistry there.
They were finding each other. Like
Yes,
Slavkovsky was making no-look passes to Mishar.
Yeah, that's for sure. Joseph says Slav was far ahead of the other players, kind of what you're just saying right now, right? If he was playing with Zook and Caulfield, different results.
Yeah,
maybe not. We don't know. When he's playing the NHL game, it might be a little too fast for him, right? We don't know that yet.
Well, we'll see. September 25th or 26th is their first exhibition game. Yeah. And I don't see why they don't put Slavkovsky on the top line, to be honest.
Well, they have to. They gotta see these guys together.
Yeah,
there's no way they're not going to.
Yeah,
the season starts. It may happen that he doesn't because maybe he's not having the greatest camp, but good enough to stay, and they let him work his way up. But if you're in camp, you're seeing what these guys look like together, or else something wrong with you as a coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the big thing is the North American ice. You have less time to make decisions on the puck. So
yeah, okay, but you got to see what they look together. What's the difference at that point? First of all, in preseason, anyway, what if he plays on the third line or the first line? Really, is that important in the first few games? So you get a look at him and see what he's, and then send him down in lines instead of up in preseason.
In preseason,
yeah.
I could see him going all over the place. I could see him playing one shift with the top line and then playing one shift with Doc and then playing one shift with DeMar. You know what I mean? I could see that being the case.
No, true. You're right, because they want to see him with different guys. Yeah, no, that's true.
But then when the season starts for real, if he's not with the guys that he can set up, because he's a guy that he's not necessarily a pure sniper. He has a great shot, but that's not the number one part of his game. The number one part of his game is puck protection.
Right.
So that's his biggest asset. That's his most NHL ready skill. You put him in the NHL right now, he is not quite on Rantanen, Barkov puck protection level, but he's one tier below them in terms of being able to hold up the play, let other guys get into open ice, and then finding guys in open ice.
And good solid entries too, if I'm correct, right? He can carry the puck over the line. He's not dumping all the time.
Yeah,
right.
He was trying to go 1-on-5 against guys.
I saw that. I saw that a couple of times, breaking through the center and stick handling through a couple of them, but not getting through all of them.
Yeah.
But, hey, he wants to make the big play. That's what they said about him. He wants to be the big guy, make the big play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I was saying, if he's not put in a position where he can set up the top guys, and he's not getting those 18, 19 minutes here, it'd be nice for him to get those 18, 19, 20 minutes down in Laval.
No, I agree with that. But do you think, say he has an okay camp, and they know we're going to probably send him to Laval, you think they give him the 9 games first?
If he has a good camp and he produces, regardless of what line he's on, I think they give him the 9 games. I don't see why they don't.
Yeah, you'd want to see him in a real game as well. I would think they'd want to see him.
For an 18-year-old kid, we've rarely ever seen 18-year-old kids come in with such a mature stature in terms of being physically ready to play in the.
Well, listen, you can compare him a bit to Joshua Roy, who once I saw him play, not that he was bad or anything, but you can see he's not ready. He's not making the jump. I don't think people are I was talking about even. I don't think he's making the jump this year at 18.
It would be hard for him to make the jump this year, Joshua.
Yeah, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have a couple of things that Slav has. You know, like you said, he's got a couple of aspects that are NHL ready where I don't really see it. You know, some things that Wall would really need to be NHL ready to make that jump. I don't see that he has it. I mean, he needs to be faster, I think.
And just his pace of play too, like the way he plays the game. He's very skilled.
Yeah.
But like I watched like some of his highlights in the queue where he's able to make plays because he has 2 to 3 seconds on the puck to find that open guy
right. And he won't get that here.
And that space will close down a lot quicker in the NHL.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he won't get that here.
Yeah, and Wa's a good skater. He's not an amazing skater either.
He's not fast. He's good, but he's not. He's also was it his top end is good, but he takes longer to get there. Is that what I read about him? I'm not sure if that's him. I read somebody.
Yeah, he's not the quickest. He's not the quickest guy, but once he gets up to speed, like most kids, like once they get up to speed now.
Yeah, that's it. But skating can be taught, and skating can be taught. That's not a worry. I mean, Suzuki, his biggest knock was his skating when he was in junior, and now they say his skating's not a problem. Mm-hmm. If anything, he's gotten fast, which I wouldn't have thought when he was in junior. I wouldn't have thought, like, I thought he'd get to be a better skater, but not where they're saying now he's a good skater, like maybe even not exceptional, but he's above average, which you wouldn't have thought. So skating is teachable.
Yeah.
They've
got guys like in the organization now that are pretty much they're skating guys. Like they're guys that are doing like
everything at speed. Like that. Yeah. Skilled players at fast pace. That's what they're going for this year. And that's the kind of players you're seeing now, which is nice to see because I don't know. This is like, I think this next few years, we're going to realize how bad it was the previous 15. Like we really didn't have great players here. There were a few, but I mean, not to the extent that we need. Like you're really going to see it,
Yeah. Aside from, let's say Pacioretty, most of the guys that put the bums in the seats were defensemen and our franchise goalie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we didn't have
players. You came to watch Carey Price, the best goalie in the NHL, or you came to watch Shea Weber, one of the top defensemen, or
PK.
Or PK when he was a Norris Trophy guy, right?
Or listen, David Desharnais and Max. That was actually a good combo, though. But, it's kind of sad when you think that was our number one combo.
But Max Domi had that 72-point season or something like that, right?
No, but not Max Domi. I'm talking Max Pacioretty and David Desharnais. Because they were a good combo, but not, they were a good combo because that's what we had. They were the best we had, but, So I'm just making a joke.
But now you have, a whole probably 2 lines worth of kids in the future that people are going to be excited to watch and maybe even more. So like you have Slavkovsky, Suzuki, Caulfield, Doc. He's exciting. When he's on his game and he's healthy, he's an exciting player to watch too.
Yeah.
You got a kid like Sean Farrell. You're going to have you're seeing Meshar and Beck stand out in these rookie games here. Like Meshar's stick handling, his shiftiness. He's not the biggest guy, but his shiftiness and his shot is sneaky good too. So
what you're seeing is there's going to be continuity in the next few years of players coming in that are going to be of quality and not just, we don't know yet down the road. But you can see down the road, we got some guys coming that have a lot of promise.
And then whoever they draft in 2023 is going to be another top 6 forward minimum. Like at like the floor is top 6 forward. Because like the top 8, top 9 players in this draft, aside from one defenseman coming up, they're all top 6 forward floors. Yeah, whether they're second line scoring wingers, or you got a player like Bedard who is a franchise center.
Yep.
Going to be a franchise center.
Yeah.
So
there's another good pick coming right there. And you know what? The year after that, we're not going to be that great. We're going to have some, another good, not maybe as good as these two, but there's still more players coming, and we're going to be set up for a few years. I think a good 10 years, we're going to be a good team, which is the natural flow of the NHL, right?
That
You
is.
get the bottom, and then you start coming up. You're up there for a while, and you go. It's just a circle of life.
Yeah, it's the circle of life in the salary cap era. That's what happens.
It is. It is. That's all you can do in a salary
You
cap.
look at the teams that built through the draft. Tampa built through the draft.
Yeah.
Colorado built through the draft. Toronto
Yeah.
built through the draft.
Yeah, don't talk about Toronto.
Well, we're going to have what Toronto's missing, though. We have it in the system that Toronto's missing.
Toronto's missing a very important part of hockey, and it's really, really important, and it's right in the center of the chest. It's a big thing that they're missing. I'm sorry, but they put a lot of money in guys that don't have heart. They don't have that extra bit that I love about some of these guys here in Montreal that they're already showing.
Guys that want to be here, like Nick and Cole, they want to be here.
Yeah.
Long term, right?
I read something. I read about Cole. People who were worried, Cole's going to he's American, going to take off. No, he did an interview, and it was with a French reporter and a French, I think, but maybe not that, but how he loves it here. He absolutely loves it here. And I don't see him. He's signing 8 years. He's going to stay here as long as he can. I believe, anyway. What do you think? You think he'll sign the full Monty when they sign him?
They asked him at the golf tournament if they had.
Was that where it was from the golf tournament?
They asked him if he had any talks about the extension, and
he
said that they haven't talked. They haven't said it. They haven't did anything. I think Cole and his camp. Like, I think he's represented by Pat Brisson. So
I think you're right. Yeah,
is him and his camp. Like, they're going to be pretty savvy about this. They're looking around the league and they're seeing Josh Norris $8 million, Tim Stützle $8 million, Jack Hughes $8 million, like all 8 by 8s or 8 by 7.8 or whatever.
Right.
And I think the reason why they haven't had these conversations is because Cole's going to bet on himself this year.
That's what I've been saying.
He's betting on himself to score 30 goals, 35 goals, whatever it is, be about a 60-point player probably, 30 goals, 30 assists, 30 goals.
I got him for 70 myself, but
yeah, that'd be nice. That would be nice. That would be really
I got
nice.
him 39 and 31, and it's not that I think for sure he's going to do it. I think he's capable to do it. That's why
he is capable of scoring 40. Yeah. Does he stay healthy the full 82?
No, there's question marks that could. I agree, but I'm saying he's capable of that. I think he proved that he's capable. Can he do it for 82 games? That's the question now.
I like conservatively 32 goals would be like a conservative estimate.
Yeah, that
30
would be
30 to 35 conservatively, 40 if he can sustain that pace. And he did put on a little bit of muscle. He said he put on 5 pounds of muscle. So
he looks really strong now.
Yeah, he definitely got stronger. So
yeah. And listen, that the pair of him and Suzuki are only going to get. They're so young and so new together. They're only going to get better. Mm-hmm. And then if Slafkovsky does work out. If you put all those things that can work out, I think he can do that pace. But, yeah, things have to really work out for him to hit 70. But 60, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so 60 points would be good. 30 goals, 30 assists, something like that. That would be a great season for him. And then if he pulls something like that, like Stützle had 58 points this past season.
Right.
So Caulfield could be looking at, somewhere in the 7.5 to 8 million range. But the Habs always have our captain who's older
That's
than
what
you,
I think. I don't
experienced than you is making 7.8.
Yeah.
So we'll give you 7.5.
That's what I think. And I said between 7 and 7.5, but it depends on his start to the season. If he starts big, and I agree with you, first off, the Habs kind of want to make sure that wasn't a fluke. So they want to see it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I think he's going to go, well, I want to show you a little longer because the numbers. But I think by Christmas, I think they're either, if he's not signed, they're working on the deal then.
They'll be working on something by Christmas.
Yeah. Because they're not going to let him go too long.
No.
You're not taking a chance. Although I don't think he signs an offer sheet because I think he really likes the situation. He's best friends with Nick Suzuki. Nick Suzuki's the captain.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the key to the city if he keeps going where he is. I don't think he signed an offer sheet anyway, but I don't think they take a chance.
They won't let it get that. They won't let it get that far.
No. I really think by Christmas he's locked in at 8 years, 7.5.
You could argue that Cole puts more bums in seats than Nick does because of Cole's style of
Nick's the
play and
captain,
his
though.
personality, right?
Nick's the captain. Nick plays all power
Of
play,
course.
PK. He takes defensive faceoffs. I
Yeah.
mean, he plays
But I'm just talking
everything.
from a how much fans like him perspective.
Oh, without a doubt. No,
Like
without a doubt, you're right.
and being like co-face of the franchise with Nick, right?
Yeah. Well, I think for sure that they're going to be the
He's just as much face of the franchise as Nick is.
So maybe it's the same, but I don't think he makes more than Nick.
No, I don't think so either. And
not more, but
and
maybe
quite frankly, I don't see him asking for more. I don't
Me
see
neither.
him going behind Nick's back and being like, "Yeah, you're
I don't
making
think so
70
either.
to make more." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I don't know if he's that type of person. I don't know him personally, obviously, but I feel like
but he seems like he's always happy and smiling, and the players love him for that reason. That makes you think he's not like a vindictive or a backstabbing kind of guy, right? I mean, that wouldn't go with that kind of person. So
no, it wouldn't fit his personality, it wouldn't fit his brand.
No, you wouldn't think anyway. But like you say, we don't know him. But I still no,
we don't know.
The kid I want to see stay here.
We don't know, but yeah, I'd like to see him here long term, of course. And then the fact that now Slafkovsky's here, they ask Nick and Cole all the time, like, Slafkovsky say he wants to play with you guys. What do you guys think about it? And they both said the same thing. He's a really good player, and it'd be exciting to play with him. That's all they say. So.
Absolutely. I mean, and it will be. It'll be. I think actually, I was a Shane Wright guy, but when you think about it, if Slafkovsky works out, that's kind of the perfect kind of player for those two guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that size that they don't really have. He's got the speed to play with them. He can play. He can make plays. He can score. He can stand in front of the net. I mean, this really, I can see this really working out.
Yeah, I was a Shane Wright guy too, because I'd seen him play so much, like in person, and just like the complete, like all the tools he has, right? Because he's a complete player. He has all the tools to be a number one center in the NHL. But like I was on here before the draft saying, like, he might not be the most dynamic player in terms of like wow factor.
Right. Well, that
like Slafkovsky or Cooley, right? And that's what we were kind of debating. Like, do we go with the safe pick, who's going to be guaranteed to be a top 6 center, like a number 1 or number 2 center in the NHL, or do you hit, if you go a little bit more risky with a guy like Slafkovsky, who, he has a higher ceiling but definitely a lower floor.
Yeah, and we knew that going in. True. Yeah,
we knew that.
But then he's got also that character. I see it that. He's got that character of a champion, the attitude. He does have it. And I'm not saying that because they drafted him and now I'm all on the bandwagon. You can see this kid and where he comes from. I love the answer about when Hughes, this was a while back, asked him, like, you were in the country when you were like, whatever age, like 15 or something. And was your mother? No. How did you cook? With a stove. And you know what? That tells you everything, right? Because he doesn't think even about that it was anything weird about it or poor me or anything like that. He's got that right attitude, I think, to for these two kids especially, it'll work.
And until I was like seeing, videos of him, like in terms of with interviews and stuff, like the day or two leading up to the draft, I didn't know like how charismatic he was and how infectious his personality is. Like, he just seems like another good guy to be around. Like, it seems like off the ice, he's a guy that you want to be around, and he'll fit like really well with Cole and Nick and the rest of the young group, because he's funny. Like, he is pretty funny. Like, there's one interview that he was doing with Mark Dumont and Philippe Mechard, and it was like 3 minutes of Uri just being unhinged with jokes. Like, everything he said was a joke.
Yeah, I know. I didn't see. I should have watched that video. I saw it out there, and I didn't watch it because I'm an idiot sometimes. But I know the video you're talking about. Yeah, he seems like that kind of guy, and that's really good in the locker room.
Yeah,
a guy like that is kind of not only good. It's kind of important. You have at least one of those guys in the locker room.
Mm-hmm. And he's a kid. He's a kid that wants to win no matter what.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not necessarily about him. And when you hear him talk and you see him on the ice, like you watch him play, like
Not selfish.
He's not selfish, and they asked him like, "What's it like?" I heard one interview. I don't remember who it was with, but someone asked him like, "What's your favorite part? Like, what's your favorite play, like on the ice?" And he said, "Oh, when I can, take the puck down the ice and I can set up my teammate for an easy goal, like when I can make my teammate's job easier."
Yeah, there you go.
He's a guy that's okay with putting in the hard work, going down low, winning puck battles, using his size and his strength and his speed to then create chances for other players. And like, hearing him say that, like that's a guy who you're like, okay, this is a guy that can fit.
Yeah, makes me think of Josh Anderson when you're talking. I'm thinking of a guy like Josh Anderson.
But he's a better passer. He's a better player.
No, I know. He's probably a version, but like that kind of a character and that kind of attitude that he goes into the games with,
Mm-hmm. Like I can see like so much space opening up for Suzuki and Caulfield with him on the ice.
That size.
Yeah.
And then you got when Arbor's here and you got and then they go, we're not touching these kids because we're gonna be killed next time we cross their blue line.
Yeah. But it's not just that too. So like when he knows where guys are gonna be like before they're even there.
Yeah.
When you look at Caulfield and Suzuki, the best part of their games, or like the co-best parts of their games, are being in positions to get into good scoring chances and anticipating where the puck's going to be before it's even there, so they give themselves the best chance to score. Right? If you have a guy like Slafkovsky setting up Caulfield, like if he has a good camp and he shows out and they burn his first year of his ELC and like he hits his potential. Like I don't see how he doesn't get like 40 assists this year.
I kind of don't have him at that, but you're right.
If he plays the whole season with the top line, if he shows out, balls out, plays the full season with the top line, right? Like, you have a sniper and an all-around 200-foot player who can also shoot the puck. Like Nick has a good shot, not as good as Caulfield's shot, but it's still a good shot. So
yeah, he does have it. Oh, I know that. Yeah. Yeah. The potential there. I think you're right. I never really looked at it like that because I hadn't seen them play. But you're right. If he's a guy that likes to set up his line mates, those two guys can score. He
likes doing that more than scoring, and for him to like come out and say that, that just kind of speaks to his mentality in terms
his
of
numbers prove it out. His numbers prove it out. Last year, I did add it up when I was trying to figure his numbers this year here. He had 36 goals and 48 assists, I think. In like 92 games he played overall, he had a list of teams. But so he does. He's a guy that produces more assists than goals. And he's a winger. Not all wingers do that.
Yeah, not all wingers do that. That is true. At the Olympics, he had 7 goals in 7 games with no assists. But at the World Championships, he had 3 goals and 6 assists in 8 games.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, it's not going to be obviously not a cookie cutter thing, but yeah, it's just going to work out, I think, online for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting. What's hard to say?
I was just going to say, if you look at a player like Mikko Rantanen's not a 50-goal scorer.
He's not what?
He's not a 50-goal scorer. Mikko Rantanen is not a 50-goal scorer.
Did he score 50? Didn't he? Or
no.
He scored 40
but he's a guy that is like 40 goals, 40 assists.
Yeah.
Like he's got the same amount of goals and assists, and sometimes some seasons he's had more assists than goals.
Yeah.
Because he's a similar style of player. Like Slafkovsky wants to be that type of player. Like he's on the record saying he wants to be a Rantanen type player.
Oh yeah, I hadn't read that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. I think he's got potential to do that. I'm not saying for sure, but I think this kid's got the potential. I mean, they wouldn't have picked him if they didn't think so either, obviously.
Yeah, and you can see that like the character, like as you're watching the interviews and seeing like the behind the scenes, like it's starting to make more sense as to why this guy was the pick.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's for 100%. They want a team. They want a team that's a team. They play for each other, that they're bonded like that. And I think they figured Wright wasn't 100% that guy to fit in like that, and where Slafkovsky was, and then the skill levels. I can see where they made the decision.
Yeah, I can totally see it too, and I can see it being a fit. I can see it in terms of just overall, how is this person going to handle being the guy in Montreal?
Yeah. That's
right?
true.
The trend, Shane Wright was like this and then like this.
Yeah.
Whereas Slavkovsky was like this and then like this.
And then shot
right?
straight up. Yeah.
So you're looking at the trends, you're looking at, how is this
Yeah.
person going to adjust? What's their mindset?
Yeah, I think he'll adjust well.
It goes like the one question we asked him, like, what's your favorite part about hockey? And he said, when we're up one or down one and the game's on the line with the puck, on my stick, or me being out on the ice, either up a goal or down a goal.
Yeah, up or down a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wants to make the difference.
And he wants to make a difference, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's telling for an 18-year-old who's lived away. He's lived away for the last 3 years of his life. Like I can't imagine living away at 15 years old. Like,
but honestly, the words themselves, I can see other players saying it. But when you look at his character and the stuff like he's been through, you know that those aren't just words to impress you. They're just, that's frankly how he feels. That's it. It's not to impress anybody. This is how I am. And it's a difference, to just say something, well, they'll like that. No, he didn't say it because they'll like it. He said it because that's how he is.
Yeah, and they even had like the infamous what's your favorite, like you have to pick any animal, what would you be question. They asked him what his answer was to that, and he said he would pick wolf. And the reason why he picks that is because wolves travel in a pack.
In packs, yeah.
And they hunt as a team.
Yeah.
And that's his favorite. That's what he said was his answer. Because he's like, everyone's gonna pick lion or shark or tiger or something, but I went with wolf because they hunt as a team. So
that's great. Yeah. I really hope this works out because we're gonna love this kid.
Yeah, I think more and more fans they're gonna fall in love with him. The more that they watch him play, and the more that they they see the lighter side of him, because like he's very serious on the ice, but off the ice, like he's a very jovial kid. He's very funny. Before
the draft, he said that. He says, "I know a lot of fans don't like me right now, but he says but they will. Yeah. I know they will. I'm sure, or something like to that effect, right? That they'll come to like me when they get to know me." I think it was something to that effect, and I think that he was right.
Yeah, he's the type of kid who's never complacent, and he feels like he needs to earn everything. Like he's got to earn every opportunity he gets, right? Yeah, he doesn't feel like he deserves it given to him on a silver platter because he was the number 1 overall pick.
Great, and we don't want players that.
He's like, I hope I make the team. He's like, I hope I do enough to impress them and make them think about putting me on the team, right? Like, paraphrasing.
No, but that's the kind of attitude.
That's his attitude.
Yeah, he's not coming in going, yeah, I'm going to make the team. I like that better in a guy, especially as a number 1 pick. Imagine a number 1 pick coming in. I hope I do good enough to make the team. The number 1 pick usually thinks, yeah, I'm going to be on the team. Yeah. Really, right?
Yeah, really.
All right, I'm going to take off here. I want to apologize to everybody in the chat because we left you alone. I apologize, but Luca was a great guest tonight. And sorry, we had a great. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I
always do, Rick. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you do. You always do, and that's why I have you back on. I appreciate it. So hopefully we'll see you again soon, and you'll be back. You'll be back in school, I guess, soon, right?
Oh yeah. We're in the grind right now.
You're already in the grind, yeah.
Yeah, we're in the grind, but it's okay. It's the weekend. I was able to set aside some time. Got all my homework done this afternoon. So,
well, good, and I'm glad. I hope we'll see you. Often in the
the Sunday night draft. I think I might be around.
Yeah, let me know if you want to be like on the screen there. Let me know, and I'll send you the link for that. Also, I haven't set it up yet, so
yeah,
it's still a little whiles away. All right, okay. So thanks for being here. I appreciate it, and we'll be we'll be speaking soon. And everybody, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you. There's stuff happening during the week. See you next time. Thanks for being here. Stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one. Bye, everybody. You're gonna go that way.